So I'm with Dan from High Times here. We just witnessed kind of a shake-up in the room with Ben Dronkers when he was giving his speech. Some of the security grabbed some of the Sensi girls who were handing stuff out in the crowd. We've seen the cops be a little bit harsher, Dan, the entire cup this time around. There's, you know, searches at the door and that kind of stuff. Can you fill us in on what's happening here with law enforcement?
No, it's not the cops. All right, we rented our space here from Roast, the Dutch Expo Center that we're using here. There's a security staff here. Every event in Holland, regardless of whether it's a rave or anything else, has to have security. So we hire these people. We have told the vendors and that we have to follow Dutch law. And Dutch law is that everybody is only allowed 5 grams in their possession. This goes for vendors, this goes for judges, this goes for me, this goes for everybody else. You're not allowed to hand out weed. This is a shame because it used to be like this in the old cannabis cups. But, you know, as the United States is moving forward and embracing recreational, we got Amsterdam going the opposite direction. So what happened is that Ben Dronkers, who is a true pioneer of cannabis and a true revolutionary, who's a great friend of mine, he had some of his people handing out weed. And the Roast security guy stepped in and said, you can't do this. The Roast security guy was grabbed by a couple of Ben guys and kind of escorted out of the room to the cheers of the audience. And so the security guy, who was just doing his job, was very, very upset and embarrassed. And this is not the Dutch way, grabbing people. All I can say is that way. I support what Ben does, and I understand what he's doing. We've broken a lot of rules in this world to make cannabis get as far as it has gotten, and I understand what he's doing. But at the same time, we have laws to follow, we have permits that we have to obey, and the nature of any event is you have to follow the local rules, which is what High Times and the Roast is trying to do. So that's basically what happened, as clear as I can tell you.
Yeah, and Dan, you mentioned that you are supportive of the sort of fundamentals behind Ben's idea on this one. I mean, obviously, the cannabis community, we're pretty close to the idea of using civil activism to try and change laws. So is there room for that here in Holland now with High Times? Is there something that High Times can do to press this issue further? You guys are powerful. What can you do to...
Believe me, we're not that powerful. We can't influence governments. We're here trying to make money. This is an event like events we hold all over the United States. You know, and I think it's a great thing that we're seeing the cannabis industry mature where we can actually have trade expos. And we're here to take advantage of that right now. And I think we're leading the way with trade expos. So as far as us influencing the government, you know, they look at us, the Christian Democrats, who seem to have taken over Amsterdam government, and it's not pleasant. I remember being here 20 years ago and just being amazed that I could sit in a coffee shop and smoke a joint comfortably as an adult, responsibly, and no one cared. Now, things are changing. Things are going a little bit backwards, and now the United States is becoming a more pot-friendly place. But the fact is, Amsterdam, it influenced so many people. It enabled so many people to really enjoy tolerance, and that I think they brought that back to the U.S., and that's why we're seeing the kind of progress with cannabis that we see now.
Well, now, in terms of the venue itself here, it was mentioned to me earlier that it's not easy for you guys to find venues in Amsterdam anymore. Is there a hope? I mean, some of the stuff you were saying is because of the venue itself. Is there a chance of getting a different venue that has different rules?
Every year, like you said, we go through that. You know, a lot of people just don't want the cannabis movement. That's all I can tell you. I mean, that's, you know, I feel like a second-class citizen, like a wayward stepchild, trying to find a place where we can have a trade expo to make this cannabis industry really mature and blossom. So yeah, we have gone from place to place. I swear to God, here, and we must have been in 13 different venues over the 26 years, possibly that many. And we've had to move around, and you know, it's a shame. So we're here on the outskirts of Amsterdam, in this great expo center here, and they've been wonderful. We really enjoyed it. You know, but as I said, you know, we got, you know, Amsterdam's giving us problems now, and you know, like I said, trying to move back the clock to the hands of time, if you will.
No kidding. Well, now about the past. I mean, this is 26 years. Has anything like this come up before in the past, where there was little, you know, bits of harshness, and then we've got back to normal?
Well, 2 years ago, we got raided, and it was like a clown car. All of a sudden, 150 cops came in the doors to raid the entire place because someone had told them that a drug park was going around. And a drug park in Europe is somewhere where they do, you know, they sell meth and speed and all kinds of crap. And so somebody, because they saw somebody doing concentrates with a torch, local cops came in and said, "Oh my God, they're doing meth," or something like that. And so suddenly, 2 days later, we had the entire police force of Amsterdam come in, and they were very disappointed. Nobody was arrested, and it was, you know. Yeah, we've been through it before.
Yeah.
But this, we have to support the roast. We have to abide by the law. So there's nothing happening here that we're just trying. We've told the vendors what the law is. They're aware of it. And that's the way it is. I mean, we have to follow the law right here in order to put on a legal trade expo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, to have this event in the future, are you hearing from anybody? I mean, is this, it's likely to be here again, or
well,
is it?
As I say, we're going to find out. You're going to see how, we'll see how the dust settles after this event, and see how the Dutch government, the Amsterdam government feels about us. We'd love to be back. Our roots are here in Amsterdam. It's one of the greatest cities in the world, most beautiful women in the world, and. It's just a wonderful place to be. I love Amsterdam, and I live in New York City, but I'll take Amsterdam.
Well, thank you very much, Dan, for speaking with us today. It's much appreciated. And everything you guys do here. We're big fans.
Thank you. Thank you.